I keep hearing that buy to let is dead, and I keep hearing that it's too late for people to jump in and get great deals. Well, this is how I bought an entire street of 10 houses, and how it's not about finding a great deal, but it's about becoming a great deal maker. Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're all well. So I have been wanting to bring you this video for a very long time, but I wanted to get it absolutely spot on. This video has to be one of my best because the deal that I'm going to talk about is by far one of, if not the best deal that I have ever done. This week I have commented on a lot of social media posts, and one of the negative posts and the comments that followed after that post was about how there is just no more great deals and how that buy-to-let investing is dead, that everyone is too late to the table. And I made several comments, but I finished with a comment that it's not about finding great deals, it's about becoming a great deal maker. And that is what being an entrepreneurial property investor is all about. And it got me thinking about one of the best deals that I have ever done, which was this particular project, which was buying an entire street of 10 houses. So I want to talk to you about how I was able to come across that deal, and it was my ability to bring the deal together and become a great deal maker that enabled me to buy this entire street and create over £1 million worth of equity after all of the costs to do the project. But before we get started, I need you all to do me a huge favour. I need you to smash the like button. I need to get my videos ranking higher up on YouTube searches, and the only way to do that is for you to help me by liking the video. So please do me a huge favour and hit the like button. And while you're there, you might as well hit subscribe and the little bell icon next to it. So let's get straight into talking about this fantastic deal. So buying an entire street, a row of 10 houses. The first question anyone's going to ask me is, how the hell did you source that deal? Well, the answer is really simple. I didn't source that deal. All of this rubbish about leaflet dropping and trying to find off-market deals and buying deals of property sources, there is really no need to focus your energy and efforts on that. If you become well known in your local market, the market that you're active in, for being a great deal maker, being a great problem solver, then people will come to you with great deals. And also people will bring you deals, or they'll bring you anything with a view to getting their foot in the door to work with you if they're a professional or a supplier or a tradesman, whatever. And this deal was no different. In 2016, it was definitely the start of what would become my very successful investment business that I would go on to later sell. And in 2014, I founded the brand. 2015, we absolutely ramped things up with buying. And 2016 saw us really start to diverse into bigger projects just like this one. And after running the networking event for over a year and being involved in other different types of networks and working from a serviced office which had many other businesses, it enabled me to really get the word around what I was all about and what I was doing. And because of that, someone wanted to work with me, but they were also on the board of a housing association. And he mentioned that he had a bit of a problem where they were short of funds to finish a purpose-built project for their target market. And in order to raise more capital, they had to offload some of the properties that didn't fit with their core market. And this lovely row of 10 local authority houses was on their radar to offload. He came to me with his problem, which was, how do we sell 10 houses all in the same street, which all need work doing, and some of them need some structural repairs doing. And then they had the added cherry on top, and there's nothing like another hurdle in property deals, of having tenants still in the property that were on protected tenancies. Now, instead of using those hurdles as reasons not to do the deal, I straight away said, we can honestly help. It was one of those old scenarios of say yes and figure out how to do the deal later. Absolutely no different. And this was by far the biggest deal that I was looking at the time. After a few initial inquiries with lenders and understanding what types of properties there were and more importantly, what I could do with them based on what the market was asking, not what I believed that needed to be done, I went and met the whole committee of the Housing Association. And I don't think there was anyone younger than 60 years of age apart from me in the room. And just me with probably about a dozen other people, all firing questions at me, all very, very nervous, all very, very reluctant to do anything fast-paced. So I created a very easy solution for them. I didn't want to throw option agreements, delayed completions, all of this various things that I could have done to save myself some money and make the deal a little bit better for me. So I had to understand who I was dealing with, and it was a straight, simple purchase. From a very complex set of committee members, from an even more complex set of circumstances. But I needed to make sure that I was the solution that they were looking for, and I was going to make it as simple and as easy for them as possible. You can see by the pictures and the videos that needed a huge amount of work doing, but I knew from what we've been doing in the student market that these would lend themselves to great 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses for students. So the row of 10 would eventually become 40 student rooms. And I knew based on that number how much rent I could achieve, and I knew based on the amount of rent I could achieve how much mortgage I could potentially get based on a commercial valuation. But I also explored the valuation once they were completed on bricks and mortar, because as we all know, legislations and markets do change, and I had to make sure that I could shift to one or the other depending on the lender that I was working with. In came the absolute beauty part of the deal. I definitely did not have the cash to do it myself, so I needed an investor. But the problem is most of the investors that I was working with were investing on individual houses, typically between 50 and 70,000. We needed something like 300 to 350,000 to do this project. And I didn't have any investors that had that level of cash or that level of equity. Literally in passing with some friends of mine who I had no idea that they would ever even consider doing a joint venture, that I'd met 2 years prior at a networking event, pretty much by accident, and we'd become really, really good friends, said to me that they wanted to do the deal, which was music to my ears, because there's nothing better than working with someone as a joint venture partner. But it's even better when it's with someone who you know, you trust, you're friends with, and who you really, really respect, and have also got experience in the same market that you're involved in and the same market you're now looking to target. So it was like a match made in heaven. And then fast forwarding on to completing the purchase, which did take a lot of time. And look, there was a huge amount of hurdles within the deal. We had to re-roof the houses, which is something we'd never budgeted for. We decided to replace the windows, something we hadn't budgeted for. We decided to replace the drains externally, something we hadn't budgeted for. And this is why this isn't a no money in deal. Because when we were starting to overspend, I had to put my own money into the deal to make sure we could complete the project to what we decided to do. So that is why, even though no money down deals sound great, you have to plan for the eventuality that things will change or things will go over budget. And you have to be prepared and also in the position where you can step in and put cash in to make sure the deal does succeed. And this was no different. But fast forward on, we've got the 10 houses, we've got the potential of a large plot to the rear with the 10 collective gardens, which we're exploring some purpose-built student accommodation as we speak. And we were really delighted that we were able to refinance them onto a buy-to-let, extract most of the funds out, and we've got about £1 million worth of equity in this one deal. And the cash flow is fantastic. Literally, after we split it 50-50, the cash flow is the equivalent to someone's really good salary after all the bills and all the mortgage is paid. You just heard all about one of my best ever deals, and you're probably thinking, well, that all sounds really well and good, Dan, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago. But what about today? What about in today's market? Today's market is no different. Yes, we have a pandemic. Yes, we have political things going on. But 2015, 2016 was no different. And when you were in the midst of that time, the problems then seemed like as disastrous as the problems do today. But that doesn't change anything in terms of finding great deals, because great deals are not necessarily great deals when you find them. It's about putting the deal together and becoming a great deal maker that makes them so good. Now, this project was a good price. We negotiated a very strong deal, but the deal was problematic. 10 houses that we worked with protected cities on the same street provided us huge issues with trying to find lenders that would lend on that. So the problems were different, but they were just as hard, if not harder, than you do get to try and bring great deals to the table. And at the moment in the market, we are in a boom. There is no denying it. There is property prices exceeding prices which is way beyond anything that I would pay, anything beyond that you would pay, and anything beyond making any money in the deal. And if you can't make money, then don't do the deal. And I've even got investors locally who I know who are paying top money. They're paying over the market price. But that doesn't mean that there isn't great deals to be had. You've got the booming market, you've got the residential market, you've got the commercial market, then you've got the sort of properties down at the auction level that are at the other end of the market that need a huge amount of work and are hard to finance and all those things. And where a great deal maker comes in is they slip through the gaps and they find the great deals that other people can't see or other people don't know are there. And they can bring one of the deals from one of the markets and position it to another market and bring other people together to form what is and does become a great deal. And what drives that great deal delivering its results is understanding the market that you're going to target. And that is why any great deal maker will know what market is going to rent, is going to buy, and is also going to sell these types of deals. So I hope you found that as enjoyable as I did doing the deal and as enjoyable as I have making this video. But that's it from me. Hope you found the content rich. I'll catch you all on the next video.